In 2023, two devastating earthquakes struck southern Turkey, leaving a trail of destruction and loss. The first earthquake occurred at 4:17 a.m. local time on February 6, with a magnitude of 7.8 on the Richter scale. It was centered west of the city of Gaziantep, but its impact extended to Syria due to its proximity to the border. This earthquake is considered one of the strongest in the history of Turkey and Syria. Just 9 hours later, at 1:24 p.m. local time, another earthquake measuring 7.5 on the Richter scale hit Ekin Ozu near the city of Kahramanmaraş. The number of victims of these two earthquakes in Turkey and Syria was devastating, with preliminary estimates indicating over 51,000 dead and 120,000 injured. The material damage caused by these earthquakes was also immense, leaving both countries struggling to recover. Despite the tragic nature of these events, they serve as a reminder of the importance of disaster preparedness and response. As we continue to learn from these experiences, we can work towards building more resilient communities and reducing the impact of future disasters. According to recent official statistics, the death toll in Turkey and Syria as a result of the earthquake exceeded 50,000, after Turkey announced an increase in the death toll on its soil. The Turkish Disaster and Emergency Management Agency (AFAD) said that the death toll as a result of the earthquake rose to 44,218 on Friday evening, February 24, 2023. In addition to the latest announced number in Syria, which is 5,914 dead, the total death toll in the two countries has risen to more than 50,000. The Turkish Disaster and Emergency Management Authority said that since the earthquake occurred at dawn on February 6, the center of which was the state of Kahramanmaraş, the country was subjected to 9,136 aftershocks, and the last of these aftershocks had a magnitude of 4.3 on the Richter scale, which occurred in Konya Governorate, central Turkey, on Friday afternoon, February 24. AFAD said in a statement that the earthquake occurred at 17:01 Greenwich Mean Time, in the Aragli district of Konya province, at a depth of 7 kilometers below the surface of the earth, and no damage was caused. Destroyed roads, winter storms, and communication outages hampered the work of the Disaster and Emergency Management Presidency for Rescue and Relief, which included a 60,000-strong search and rescue force, 5,000 rescuers and paramedics, and 30,000 volunteers. More than 141,000 people from 94 countries also joined the rescue effort after Turkey's request for international assistance. The United States Geological Survey (USGS) estimated the intensity of the first earthquake to be a magnitude of 7.8 MWW. The epicenter of the earthquake is located west of Gaziantep in Gaziantep province, near the border with Syria. This earthquake is probably the strongest earthquake ever recorded in Turkey, with an intensity equivalent to the 1939 Erzincan earthquake. 9 hours after the first earthquake occurred, another earthquake with a magnitude of 7.5 on the Richter scale struck the Ekin Ozu district of Maraş province. The U.S. Geological Survey considered it an earthquake in itself, and that it was caused by the movement of another fault as a result of the first earthquake. The second earthquake was followed by a 6-magnitude aftershock. Area geology. The initial location of the earthquake places it near a triple junction between the Anatolian Plate, the Arabian Plate, and the African Plate. The mechanism and location of the earthquake are consistent with the earthquake occurring in the East Anatolian Rift Zone or the Dead Sea Rift Zone. The East Anatolian Rift accommodates the western extrusion of Turkey into the Aegean Sea, while the Dead Sea Rift accommodates the northward movement of the Arabian Peninsula with respect to the African and Eurasian plates. Seismic intensity. The area where the earthquake occurred is seismically relatively quiet, with only 3 earthquakes of magnitude 6 or greater occurring within 250 kilometers of the epicenter of the first since 1970. The largest, with a magnitude of 6.7, occurred northeast of the location of this earthquake on the 24th of January 2020. All of these earthquakes occurred along or near the East Anatolian Fault. Despite the relative seismic calmness of the central region of this earthquake, southern Turkey and northern Syria have witnessed large and destructive earthquakes in the past, as Aleppo in Syria has been destroyed several times historically due to large earthquakes, although the locations and magnitude of these earthquakes cannot be accurately estimated. Aleppo was subjected to an earthquake with a magnitude of 7.1 on the Richter scale in 1138 and another earthquake with a magnitude of 7.0 in 1822, which caused the death of large numbers of people, as it was estimated that the number of deaths ranged between 20 and 60,000. Effects of the earthquake in other regions. The European Mediterranean Seismological Center stated that the earthquake was felt by residents in Armenia, Georgia, Iraq, Jordan, the West Bank, Gaza Strip, Egypt and parts of Russia. The Danish and Greenland Geological Survey also stated that its equipment detected the two earthquakes and that some people felt the tremors in Denmark and Greenland despite the distance more than 5,500 kilometers, 3,400 miles. Geological influences. Liquefaction was determined via satellite and remote sensing along the southern section of the MW7. Richter on the East Anatolian Fault from Antakya to Gulbasi. Liquefaction and lateral diffusion have been observed in and near coastal regions, river valleys, dried lakes or marshy areas covered by Holocene sediments. Limited observations were made at higher elevations due to snow cover and lack of satellite observations. Liquefaction and lateral diffusion were abundant in the Amak Valley, or Wadi al-Amku, and the Orontes River plain north of Antakya in Hatay province. Liquefaction occurred around the former lake bed and along the slopes of the Orontes River. The lateral spread caused severe damage to the port of Iskenderun. Large areas of the coast and parts of the docks were flooded due to lateral spread. Liquefaction has also been observed in Mount Simeon, Swedish-Turkish, Samandag. In Gulbashi Lake in Adıyaman province, lateral dispersal occurred along the northern, eastern and southern coasts. Parts of the lake shore were also flooded. Gulbasi was also damaged by liquefaction and lateral spreading. A major subsidence of the land occurred in the coastal city of Alexandretta, causing the sea to flood parts of the city. It crawled up to 200 meters, 660 feet inland. Although this massive earthquake produced mostly horizontal motion, it is certainly plausible that there was a fault causing such a large-scale subduction, said Tim Wright, of the UK's Seismology and Volcano Modelling Centre. The level and magnitude of subsidence is quite expected on this scale from a major earthquake, said Jose Barrero, director of Ecoast Marine Consulting and Research in New Zealand. Similar subsidences occurred in the Turkish city of Gölcük after the 1999 Izmit earthquake, and in Kaykora when the 2016 Kaykora earthquake occurred. Soft sediments, high waves from stormy weather and tsunamis may have contributed to the effects observed in Iskenderun. Although the epicenter was 90 kilometers, 56 miles inland, a tsunami was recorded in the Mediterranean Sea. A small tsunami was recorded off the coast of Famagusta, Cyprus, without damage. The tsunami measured 0.17 meters 6.7 in, and tsunamis of 0.12 meters 4.7 in were recorded in Iskenderun and 0.13 meters 5.1 in Erdemli. A tsunami warning was issued 15 minutes after the main earthquake. The warning issued by KOERI expected waves of 0.5 meters 1 foot 8 in along Turkey's southern coast. The Italian Civil Protection Agency issued a warning, which was later withdrawn, of a possible tsunami for its southern and eastern coasts. The National Institute for Astronomy and Geophysics Research in Egypt issued a tsunami warning for the eastern Mediterranean region, including the Egyptian coast. The warnings were later withdrawn. Thank you for your support of the channel by liking and sharing.